Hello, Achievers. This is the channel is Achievers with JB, and today we are talking about how we can realize resources that we can invest so that we create passive income so that we don't work all our lives. When we look at the statistics that is happening across the globe, it is actually very alarming. For example, in the US, the statistics show that 51% of the Americans have only $5,000 in savings, and 35% of the Americans have only $1,000 in savings. When we come down, 1 in 10 Britons have no saving at all, while 41% don't have enough money to live on once they lose a job. For example, this is the month of April. If they lost a job today, they don't have enough money to push them through the month of May. What does that mean to us? Let me narrow it down to our country, to Uganda. When we look at Uganda, the statistics of 2021, they show that 8.97% of Ugandans are able to save out of the over 45 million Ugandans. Wow. The statistics are quite alarming, and I think there is a problem and something needs to be done, and we need to realize where we are. Something needs to be done. When you look at people in the corporate ladder, I've worked in the corporate ladder. The salary usually comes in around 28th to 30th, and by before the middle of the month, the salary has been consumed. So the people have to borrow here and there so that they can go through the rest of the month. And that is also alarming. Why is this happening to us? Is it lack of discipline? Is it that we don't have enough resources to save? How can we change these statistics for our betterment? Well, this is Achievers with JB. Kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, and so that we can grow our community together. I've come up with over 10 ideas on how we can save some money, how we can save from the resources that we have, so we have some money that we can invest. Number one is treating savings as a bill. Usually we save what is left. That is the mentality. We save what is left. And at the end of the day, when you look at the expenses that we have almost nothing that is left. So if we have to save what is left, we are left with nothing at the end of the day. But if we treat saving as a bill, for example, electricity bill, water bill, because if you don't pay the electricity bill, obviously you have no electricity for the month. If you don't clear the water bill, your water supply will be cut off. So we usually clear such bills before. So this time we should treat saving like a bill. Let's treat our savings like a bill so that when we are clearing the outstanding bills like electricity, power, our savings are part of those. And in this way, we will be able to realize some money to save. We can put a standing order with your bank so that there is a percentage of your salary that is put on an account that you don't have access to. Why? Because we want to be intentional. We want to be intentional on how we can realize some money, on how we can save money that can take us ahead. We forget about those resources. The only time we think about it is when we have to withdraw it and invest it in an idea that we think will generate an income for us. The next thing, or the next idea is to quantify your expenditure into working. What does this mean? For example, if you work, and for every hour that you work, you are paid $10. So, for example, if you work 5 hours, those are $50. So when I look at a dress on the market and the dress is $50, the calculation in my head will be those are 5 hours of work. So that the decision that I have to make is one, I have to think through, is this dress worth the 5 hours of my work? Or the other thing is to delay the purchase and sleep over it. By the time you wake up the following day, you have made a decision on whether you badly, badly need this dress. So by the time you come to the morning, you should have made a decision and you're like, wow, I don't think I need this dress. And in that way, you have saved the $50 that you should have given away. The third idea is to reduce on impulsive buying. That is a very interesting one. Recently, I went to buy a pair of shoes, and when you go to buy a pair of shoes, obviously there will be other pairs that you had nothing, you hadn't thought about. So as you look at the shoes that you want to buy, obviously there are other striking pairs of shoes that you would also want to buy. But this time when I went to buy the pair of shoes, I had actually even gone to buy a gift for a dear friend of mine. So when I got there are quite beautiful pairs of shoes. But what saved me from this impulsive buying, I had actually known the cost of the pair of shoes. So when I got there, the money that I had at hand was just enough to buy the one pair of shoes that I had gone to buy. And I returned without the other pair of shoes. But I imagined if I had gone with more money, of course, I should have come back with 2 or 3 other pairs of shoes. Despite the fact that we walk into places of shopping with shopping lists, chances are high that we still buy the things we don't need. So let us reduce on impulsive buying, and in that way, we are able to save that money that we should have spent on items we don't need anyway, and then invested it somewhere. The other one is opening up an account that you don't have access to, so that you are able to put your savings on that account. Recently, I was arguing with a friend, a colleague, and this person was telling me that I should get onto online banking. And I told him I don't need the online banking. And he insisted, in this era, you need the online banking. Online banking is very good, but you need to have the discipline. Why? Because sometimes it is inconveniencing if I don't have that specific amount of money there. It takes me time for me to walk to the bank, use the ATM and withdraw it. But if it's online banking, at the comfort of your home, any need that comes or any unnecessary expenditure, it is easy for you to make that withdrawal. Why? Because you have access to your account. You can transfer the money from the bank onto your phone, and then you do the expenditure. So as we open up those saving accounts, the account strictly should have no ATM. You should have no access to that money. So in that way, you are able to save the money that you should have used. Then the other one is to save in instruments that charge you. For example, if you have an account and you tell this bank that I want to deposit, for example, 500,000, that's Ugandan shillings, or I want to deposit $200 every month on this account, and I want to do this for the next 5 years. When you don't save that month, you are charged. When you want to take the money before the 5 years, you are charged. So in that way, you are forced to save. Why? Because you don't want the charges. In one way or the other, this helps you to become more disciplined, and in that way, you are able to save a lot of money that you should have wasted. Why? Because you don't want the charges on you, and the time that you have given for the saving that you want to do hasn't yet elapsed, and you are failing to save in a particular month, there are penalties for you to pay. So in that way, you are saving and you can't withdraw the money. So you are forced to save. If we need to develop the discipline of saving for investment, I think we need to go an extra mile to do things of that kind. Then I think it's point number 5 now. Point number 6, we should stop addictive behaviors. Addictive behaviors like, for example, gambling. Secondly, They could be habits like drinking both alcohol. Some people are addicted to coffee. Some people are addicted to partying. So others are addicted to womanizing. And all those behaviors, in one way or the other, they lead us into failing to save. Why? Because, for example, if it's womanizing, a man that has many girlfriends, the expenditure is high. Why? Every girlfriend wants to live in the best apartment. They want to drive the latest vehicle. They want to be taken out every other time. So if you have more than one girlfriend, the expenditure is high. For example, I'll give the simplest other example. If someone is addicted to coffee, in the US, there is Starbucks coffee, and a cup of coffee is $3.5. And I would link that in my Uganda perspective. I would look at Cafe Java's coffee. Cafe Java's coffee is 10,000, but if you want an extra espresso, it becomes 14,500. Now, which is an equivalent of around $4. Let's just do the simple mathematics. For example, if I refuse to take coffee from Cafe Java's or from Starbucks, just a little estimate. We want to see how much money we can save at the end of a given period of time and how that money can help us. I'll look at the US perspective, the 3.5 in a month, that is $105. If you're taking a cup of coffee every day for 30 days at $3.5, that is $105 per month. So if I decide to make the coffee myself or do it myself, if I invest the $105 every month, and I'm not taking coffee, I'm not buying the coffee, but I'm making it from my home and taking it to work or wherever I take the coffee from, every month I save for the next 40 years, and I'm saving that money for example, I'm 20 years and I'm saving that money for the next 40 years. By the end of the 40 years, I would have saved $273,000. The power of the compounding interest. The little monies matter. The little monies matter in the process. Wow, who would have thought that something that costs $3.5 would give me that amount of money at the end of that period? Who would have thought about that? We never think about that, but yet the little resources put together with the power of the compounding interest, we can realize a lot. The other option that we can think about, option number 7, is to carry our lunch to work. Carry our lunch to work. It depends on how much you spend on your lunch. For example, I would say in Uganda an average of 10,000 per day, and that is 25 days in a month. That is 250,000. 250,000 shillings saved over time is some good money. It is some good money that you would be shocked at what you have at the end of 40 years if you have saved all that money. Then the point number 8 is for us to save money, we should learn how to do certain things for ourselves. For example, I should learn to do my facial. I should learn to paint my nails. I should learn to when we look at the pandemic, quite a number of things happened. Most of the people that thought they would never do the shaving, they would never cut the hair, when the lockdown was there, it was tight. People were scared of stepping out of their houses. And in the process, men were able to buy the shaving machines, and they were able to shave themselves. And that money was actually saved. So if we learn to do certain things ourselves, the money that we think is little that we spend, for example, as ladies, most of the time we are in the salons, we're painting our nails, we're working, we are doing facials, we are doing pedicures and manicures, and we're doing all sorts of things. But if we can do some of those things ourselves, we will be able to realize a lot. We will be able to save a lot of money. For example, number 8 is leverage your interest. You need to earn an interest on what you are saving, so that so you don't make it to the what, to the bank. If I put my $100 in the bank on a monthly basis, and I am just saving it, this money is depreciating over time. For example, the 2022, the inflation rate in Uganda, I think, came up to 10%. And across the globe, the interest rate was really, really high. So if we learn not to save, but to invest our savings, so instead of putting the $100 or the 100,000 in the bank on a monthly basis, you identify a unit trust, and you're able to put that money on a monthly basis. It will make interest for you on a monthly basis. So instead of that money sitting idle in the bank with no interest, if you invest it on a monthly basis, it will make an interest for you, and you will not have to suffer inflation. So when we put money in the bank, we lose a lot of money. But we invest that money on a monthly basis, we are able to realize interest, and that money is working for us. Then finally, number 10, I think we should ask for discounts. Usually when we go to different places, if it's a food point, I have a place where I buy pizzas for my family. There are specific days when they give double pizza. Why? Because it's a discount, and it's an offer during those specific days. And there are different discounts that are given. Sometimes stores are clearing out, and some things have been reduced. So those are the interesting times when you need to go and buy. Why? Because the prices are not high. So the discount is okay, because you are able to save a lot of money when you ask for a discount. As achievers, we should learn to manage our resources. We should be investors. Achievers are investors. If you look at all these different interesting points, and you feel you can't realize, or you can't save money even after doing what we have mentioned here, that means that you need to find a different source of income that will help you bring in more money, so that you are able to save and invest more. And we will be discussing that in our coming videos. Otherwise, thank you for listening. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let us grow together.